Hello, welcome to a Pilates workout. Going to get going. This is third time lucky. Hopefully it's going to work and I'll be able to get it put on for you. So if you've not done Pilates before, I'm going to take a little bit of time setting you up. If you have, then just take this time just to recenter yourself and get going. I'm going to get my cheat sheet put down so I can see what I'm doing. Find a little bit of space and get yourself ready for our warm-up. So feet underneath hips, an even balance between toe and heel. So if you want to go for a small rock, do so and then find a good stable base. Soft into the knee and check the position with your hips. So it's a tucking your bum under, pushing it out back. There are your two extremes. And then you want to find that point where your hips are facing forward. Keep it there and grow tall through the spine. Relax the shoulders back. Switching on through the core. We are going to think about that in a moment though. Think breath. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. For those that haven't done this one for a while, feel free. Let your fingertips touch and just hold the bottom of your rib cage. Relax your shoulders and grow tall and then just breathe. And as you breathe, you should feel your fingertips drift apart as you breathe in and come back together as you breathe out. That's the breath I want you to try and keep. So you're breathing into the lower rib cage. Now think core. Keep the breath going and pull the belly button in. Try and get your belly button to touch your backbone. Hold it tight and then release to halfway. Still a little bit too tight, so release just a little more. Hold that there and squeeze your pelvic floor, and it's the bottom of the box. You lift it, you squeeze it, you zip from back to front. Hold far too tight, and then release to halfway. Release just a little bit more, and then you're ready to go. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just let your shoulders roll. Something a little bit different for those that have done my classes before. You'll all have gone for an arm float. I'm doing shoulder roll today. So try and hold the lower half of the body still as you just allow your shoulders to move round. Take it to one shoulder only. If you feel fine, increase by making that elbow travel further. If you feel you can, use the whole arm, circling round. Change to the other side. Start with just the shoulder roll. Increase to the elbow. Take it to the whole arm if you can. Holding tight through the core, just as far as the body allows. Try not to let yourself turn too much. If you can, both arms, big circle. Think about your breath. Breathe in, breathe it out. One more time. Relax those arms at the side. A little extra softness at the knee and then a circle through the hips. So try and keep your shoulders still and think just the lower half of the body. Push the hips forward, side, back and side. Tighten through the core and then circle the other way. Are you as good this way? Sometimes you find you can only do this one way and it takes a lot of time to think about doing it the other way. Squeeze into the bum cheeks as you push forwards. Bring it back to center and go a little bit wider, not too wide. Gonna do the squats, but I'm gonna build it up with this one. So tall through the body, bend the knees, push the hips back and sit yourself down. Then lengthen back up. So if you're not sure about a squat and you do have a settee or some chair close by, get yourself just in front and imagine you're trying to sit on it. Now, if you get low enough and the bum's in line with the knees, you should kind of touch your seat, unless you've got a really high seat. You touch. So you've got to really push your bum out back. It's not about trying to touch the floor. So you're not coming down to there. It's thinking about the bum lowering to the seat. Arms if you want. Lengthen up tall, squeezing into the bum cheek. So not only are you getting your bum to touch the seat, either imaginary or real, but you're also thinking about lengthening, squeezing your bum, tuck your hips back under and grow yourself back tall. Now, if you can, as you rise, get your balance and see if you can lift a leg. Sit down and lift the other leg. Grow tall. So we add in a bit of a balance. A squat and a lift. Sit down deep, push down into one foot. Now you might find that you can only lift and bring that foot just slightly off the ground. Concentrate on keeping the weight as central as possible so you don't sway too much to the side like that. I was done by accident. Sit it down, push and rise. If I start to look really hot, I'm recording this on that really hot day we had in June, which is why I'm inside. I would love to be outside with a little bit of a breeze, but it's just too hot in the sun, and our garden is in full sun at the moment. One more each side. Hopefully you're warm. Gauge that core, let the foot come down, and a little loosen. So we've actually got to do a balance now. You're going to go for a balance with the leg going out back. To get yourself into neutral again, think core, think breath. And it's going to be taking the foot behind. So get the balance into one foot and just see if you can touch the toe behind you. Then the other foot. Breathe out, breathe it in. It's going to turn sideways. You'll notice as I try and take the foot behind, I very slightly tip. I tip from the hip. So I feel a little squeeze into the bum. And the whole body stays long with the back leg. That way you protect the spine. If I didn't tip, I'd end up curving into my back. If you can, could you go a little higher? Soft into the supporting leg. Breathe out, breathe it in. Now your choice with arms. Feel free just to let them open for balance. Maybe start to take them forwards. Lengthen. So just as high off the floor as you feel you can. Maybe you want to go. Lengthen one side. Whatever leg goes back, the arm reaches forwards. So the aim is to try and get a sort of a T shape. So you lengthen yourself out. I can't look into the screen and do it at the same time. Let the eyes pick a point on the floor. So feel free to stay there. If you've got it and you want a little bit more, for those that want the challenge, you lengthen. Can you bend that supporting knee? Lengthen. Bend into it. If you can bend into it, you can, if you want, then start to tip a little further. So it's not the arms reaching to the ground. It's not the leg just going up. You move the whole body, trying to keep it long. One more each side if you can. Do what you can. Maybe you're just taking the foot behind. Maybe it's all about balance. Just trying to get yourself the weight onto one leg. Weren't too good on those last two. I'm getting a bit hot now. Woo. So we're moving to our main phase, and I'm starting standing up. Now feel free to do this one, strange as it is. If you do this little routine again, if you like it, please feel free to grab yourself some heavy weights, whether it's a can of beans, whether it's a bag of something, fill a bag full of heavy things. You only need one, something you can hold on to with one hand. Side bends. Bring yourself tall, grab hold of whatever you want in one hand, soft at the knee. Wherever the weight is, you lean. And then bring yourself back tall. So the weight tries to drag you down. You then got to pull that weight back up again. But it doesn't drag you down. You control it down. Imagine there's a wall just in front and just behind you. The only place you can go is to the side. Lengthen. Can you really lengthen yourself tall? So try not to go to the side. Lengthen tall. So you're resetting. Feel your core switch on as you grow tall. Feel the obliques work as you lean. 2 more if you can. So the heavier the weight, the harder this is. I do it sometimes in the class with a band. If you've got one at home, use a band. Grow tall, swap to the other side. Same thing, but now you're going to feel it on the other side. Just let yourself hang. So as much as possible, don't pull it back up again. Leave that arm, just relax. You maybe are tensing to hold on to something, or maybe it's just using the weight of your own arm. It's just there. You're thinking about using your side, your obliques, to make the body move. Now that little softness into the knees, that helps you to feel more of an even balance between the feet. You'll want to take it over to one side, but try and keep it as even as you can. Grow tall at the middle, lengthen up. I've lost count on this side now. 2 more. If you've been counting, try and make it even. Lengthen. Ease it out. If you need to, a slow little twist. This workout is really going to get your side working. So bring yourself ready to come down. We're going to do one little roll down. You're going to lose my head, but we're only doing one roll down to bring us to the ground. So engage through the core, lengthen the body. You can get to the ground however you want, but if you can, so your chin to your chest, let the shoulders start to curve. Engage through that belly button. Let yourself hang at the bottom. I don't mind if you can't touch the ground. Bend the knees if you need to. Start to walk it forward. Now come straight down to all fours. Come straight down to the floor however you want. If you can, hold yourself into the plank. Make sure, tuck your hips under. Lengthen through the body. Engage. For anyone that's been doing my press-up challenge recently on my Facebook page, then this is fairly simple. We've been doing planks. Bring yourself down, whether you're trying. Lower yourself. Or just bring yourself to the floor. I'm too close. I almost hit my head then. For anyone who was wondering what I was doing with my head, I was trying to get around the settee. It's not very wide, this room. It's very long, but not very wide. So what we're going to do, swimming. We're going to start with arms. So bring yourself down, shoulders down away from the ears. Relax the arms to the side. Relax the legs. We're going to lift one at a time. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you lift, and then lower. Other side, lift, and then lower. You're thinking about moving through the shoulder, so try and keep the chest as parallel to the ground as possible. Feel fine? Take the arms a little further forwards. Feels different. Starts to work a slightly different area of the back and chest. Starting to work more around the shoulders. If you can, and I just need to wriggle down to be able to get it there, you can lengthen the arms out in front and lift. Please excuse my weird hands, it's the only way I can fit in. So feel free to position yourself so you have the space to do it. Again, make sure your chest stays still and you lift. We're going to pause there a moment. Relax the upper body. Feel free to use something underneath your head if you want to. Use your hands. Now we're going to go for legs. So I'm going to wriggle myself so you can see my legs a little more. Relax through the shoulders. Engage the core. Keep your hips to the ground. And with as long a leg as you can, squeeze the bum cheek. Breathe out and try and lift the leg. Now, what I want you to think about, please keep your head relaxed down unless you need to have a little look. Think about squeezing the bum, lift the knee, and feel the thigh peel off the ground. I can lift quite high. You might find the knee comes off slightly and then it doesn't come any further. That's what it does. That's what it does. As long as you're feeling squeezing to the bum cheek, down the back of the leg and maybe into the lower back. Lift and squeeze. So, one more of them. Did you find one harder than the other? Feel free to stick with one. So if it was the upper body you want to concentrate on, go upper body. Lower body if you prefer. If you can, we add the two together. So we go for an alternate. Opposite arm to leg. Chest and hips stay flat to the ground for the moment. And squeeze. Now for those that know this one, you'll probably be thinking, but we can lift the chest. We've done it with a chest lifter. Please keep the chest down for now. Don't worry, the lower back is going to get worked. So you can go for a nice controlled lift and lower. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower, whether the arms are there, further forward, lengthened, however you prefer. If you want, you can lift and switch. Breathe out. Breathe out. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax it down. Ooh, feeling it through the back of the body. Either lengthen yourself off and stretch. If you can, come back and give it a stretch from there. So, I said don't lift up the chest because that's what we're going to do now. I didn't want you to tire out the lower back too early. We're going to go spine extension and then build it up if you can. I'm going to start you with the middle option so you can feel the move first. We come here. Shoulders away from the ears, relax the arms, relax the legs. Then just think chest. Try and lift the shoulders. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. So tighten through the core. Pull your belly button off the floor. It'll not come off the floor, but you try. And when you try and lift it, you engage the core to support the back. There will be a little squeeze at the bum, but not too much. If you squeeze too much, you're going to just flip your legs off. Concentrate on upper body. Now, if you're feeling the lower back work too much, let your arms relax there. I start with the middle option because if you start there, sometimes it's tempting to do that. It's not a push up with the hands. It's the lift of the chest. So you're doing exactly the same, but now you've taken some of the upper body's weight away. A little easier. You can add the weight to that upper body. Stay with that if you want. Feeling okay? Add the squeeze of the bum. And see if you can lift the legs as well. Breathe out. Breathe out. Control. To stay with just upper body. Maybe you want to stay with the lower body. There isn't a higher option. If you can bend. Flex your feet. Squeeze. Not as easy now to lift. And if you want from there, take hold of the ankles so you can still flex the feet. Same thing. Squeeze the bum. But now push the feet into your hands and lift. So loads of options there. Stay with just the spine extension if you want. Maybe go for both or see if you can take it up. And if you can manage 2 more. And then release. Loosen it. Ease into that lower back. Take it back. Give it a stretch if you can. Did work a lot into the lower back. Don't worry if you can't get your bum to your heels. Just relaxing back in that position. You can bring it there and let shoulders drop. If you can go there and really let the shoulders drop. The shell stretch to get the down into the lower back a bit more. So from there, sit yourself up. We're going to work into the sides of the waist. I did say we're going to do a lot here. The mermaid is similar to what you did, the side bends. But now we're going to add, really starting to work into the hips as well. This is the position I'm wanting you, if you can. So have one leg in front and one leg to the side of you. If you struggle with this side, come there instead. So you can just release the hips a little. Try and have both legs different. So if you really struggle, don't come to there. Have one at least slightly bent. Some way, legs are different. If you can go to there, do so. I can't get my bum flat to the ground. It don't matter, as long as you can hold yourself up. You might be finding, I've got to have that hand there, otherwise I'm going to fall over. Fine, that's what you need. Because that hand is going to go there. The other hand relaxes on that leg, whether it's the lengthened leg or the bent leg to the side. The easier bit for most is we're going to start with this arm. You might find if you think, well, I can't really sit upright, I need to put weight on there, this might be the hardest bit for you. Engage the core, try and hold yourself in position, breathe in, and as you breathe out, try and get that hand off the ground if you can. Reach, that's my reach. It's a stretch for you. Place it down, but don't put too much weight. This is now the side bend, the curve. The reach might be the hardest bit for you. You might think, that's a nice, easy bit. Then the bend. So, it's a side bend. Your hips stay still. You move from the waist, curving through that spine. Reach. Try not to put too much weight on the hand on the ground so that your obliques have to bring you back up. Maybe don't put the hand to the ground at all. Doesn't matter if you don't get your arm up into the air. If you're someone that struggles with your shoulders, then just go for the side. You're still getting the curve in the spine. The arm just adds a little extra weight, which makes it a bit harder. Find what's best for you. One more little bit for anyone that wants it. If you can reach quite nicely, reach further. Now you're not reaching across, I'm still reaching up. But as I reach up, I end up getting that curve. So it's that reach up, but you keep reaching and you just get more of a stretch. You might be finding this hurts through the hips. You're getting an ache. You might be feeling it into your side. Last one. Try not to push off the ground. Use the waist. Bring it forward. So it could be the hips that are aching. If so, just give it a little loosen. That does nicely ease into the side of the body as well. Give it a loosen out. You may want to go there. And then we're ready for the other side. So did you copy me? Did you mirror what I did? Mirror what I did again. Other leg in front, other leg to the side. Now I find this one harder. I'm a bit tighter in this hip. So I might look like I'm very much there. Until it loosens off, I do struggle with this side. Engage. If you're needing that, put it there, but try to think about using the core to hold you up. Other hand. Keep your hips wherever they are. Breathe in and try and get your hand off the ground. Reach. Place it, but try not to put too much weight there. Reach. So your arm that goes over the bend, keep it long to start. So as you go across, it's not there. If you can, if your shoulder allows, start with a long arm. That then just helps you to lengthen the side of the body. If you bend it, you're more likely to kind of not tip and move correctly. With that lengthened arm, it makes you lengthen first, and then with the core engaged, you can lean. So can you keep just fingertips? Maybe, and I'm not very good on this side because I'm already leaning more than I should be. Can you go there? Maybe you can go for the extra reach. So where are you feeling it? I'm starting to really feel it into this hip because this one struggles. Are you the same? So just like when we're stood up doing the side bends, there's that wall in front of you. Make sure the arm, if you are taking it up, is always at the side of the ear. One more time each way, starting with the reach and finishing with the work. Release, ease it out. Don't feel with any of the moves that you have to keep going until I finish. If it's already hurting, you stop. The idea of Pilates is we go to a point where you feel it. I know in some classes they say no pain, no gain. Pilates is about control. So if you're controlling your move, you should start to feel it, but not to the point of pain and not to the point where you're gonna fail. We want to be able to do one more. So I normally go to that point where you think, I don't like this, and maybe do two more. Because normally when you go to go, don't like this, you can do more. It's just oh, I'm feeling it now. If you get to that point where I can't do it, you've gone too much. That was a nice little way of having a breather. We lay ourselves on our sides. So find the best position. I'm going to come here. I'm going to lose my feet for a moment because I need to show you the arms. Legs are fairly simple. Place something underneath your head if you need to. If you can, lengthen the arm. If you're struggling with your shoulder, place something under the head, bring the arm there. Forget about doing anything with the lower arm. If you can though. Shoulders are stacked, so make sure it's down away from the ear. Hips are facing forward and you're balanced on your side with nice lengthened legs. Have your hand there if you need to until you get balanced. We start with legs, but it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do. Engage through the core. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you lift both legs off the ground. This one, if I haven't said already, I always forget to say what they're called. It's the torpedo. Breathe out, breathe in. The lower leg, you're working the inner thigh. The top leg, you're working the outer thigh and into the waist and hips. Keep the legs together. The first couple you do, you'll want to lift further than you actually can do. So keep the legs together and just find that little lift. Got your balance? Can you bring your hand? Pull that belly button in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Got it? Lift, hold, and float the arm. The seat's in the way. Float it back. It wasn't as smooth as intended. Lift and hold. Let the arm float. So go as far as your shoulder allows you to go. Can you make the hands almost touch? From there, lift. Get the head just very slightly off the lower arm. If the top arm comes and touches the head, then you basically just remove the weight from the lower arm and slightly touch the top arm. If you're there, I don't want that. Okay? Just a little lift. The idea is to not hurt your neck. You're just taking the weight off the lower arm. Legs, arm, head if you can. And then that final level, and don't feel you have to do it. Legs, arm, head, lower arm. And then reverse it all. Breathe out. Two more if you can. Only lift what you want. If you're still just doing legs, you may have already done your two and you're relaxing now. Bring it down. Let the knees bend and ease it out. Working all through the side of the body. And hopefully maybe feeling it a little on the inner thigh as well. From there, roll yourself onto your back. This is the only one we've got laying on the back. So we're going to do what's called the corkscrew. I'm going to move my arms out of the way because you need to be able to see my midsection. Feel free to let your arms just relax. Palms up if you can. Feet about shoulder width apart. Nice comfortable distance away. Relax the shoulders. Hips are facing towards the ceiling, so you've got that little gap underneath your lower back. My top sort of flops down. Everything stays there. The hips are just going to push. So if you imagine that's your bum on the floor, it's just going to twist. It's a side bend, but using the lower half of the body. If you're not sure, please feel free just to watch a moment. So imagine I'm laying on the floor. It's my hip doing that. Not as easy to demonstrate upright because with my knees on the floor, it's quite difficult, but it's that bit. You're not rolling at all. You're just pushing to the side, trying to bring your hip up towards the rib. Naturally, as you do it, you'll find your shoulders move as well because we're working the obliques again. I think we work the obliques a lot. They attach there and there. So when you pull that bit up, it's also going to pull that bit down. So that little push. Lower back stays same distance off the ground. Stay with that. We've worked the obliques quite a lot, so you may want to stay there. Maybe the side that you're about to pull up, get that foot off the ground, then push. Other foot off the ground and push the other way. Now you may notice that when I push, my knee travels across the body and my foot pushes out to the side. It's not because I'm moving my leg, it's because I'm sliding the hip. That hip coming up to meet the rib cage at the side. Maybe you want to try both legs off the ground. Now, if I try and keep a tabletop position there, I don't know how obvious it is, but I twist. I'm going to turn so you've got my bottom. I do apologise, but it's the best way of you being able to see what I'm doing. So I'm there. It all stays up, but it twists. And it twists from the hips. So it's not a roll to the side, it's a twist. Normally in class, I'd come round and I'd start helping everyone, and it's what I call the O moment. It's an easy move when you get pushed in the right direction. You say, oh yeah, I know what you mean now, I can do that. But sometimes the brain doesn't want you to do it. Twist. Pull the belly button in and twist. There's a little bit more. Don't do it if you're already in a position where you're thinking, I'm working, I can feel it. If you want more, you twist, hold the twist, and then push the belly button to the ground. Twist to the other side, and a little pelvic tilt. Roll it in, control it back, twist to the other side. Roll it in, control it back, twist to the other side. So we go from what I like to call the twister, and we can start to make it more of a corkscrew. Because when you corkscrew, not only do you twist, but you start to lift. And if you want the full, you twist. As you curl up and get your pelvic tilt, you then twist to the other side. Don't drop down, control it down. And that's then the corkscrew. So it's a lift up and twist. Two more. Whatever option you're choosing. And when you've done your last one, allow it to relax down, lengthen and give it a little stretch. So we've got to finish with our torpedo. You need to do the other side. Now you can, if you want, just roll to face away from the TV screen, whatever you're watching me on. I'm going to turn and twist myself. Feel free to turn and twist yourself as well, so your head's at the other end of the mat, so you can still see what we're doing. You get to see what my legs are doing more now as my arms disappear off the screen. So lengthen yourself out again. Shoulder away from the ear, hips are forward, use your hands. Start small and build it again. Engage. So just the legs. Try and get off the ground. I'm just going to edge myself down a little bit more. Do another one if you can, because my feet are hitting the settee. Engage. Squeeze. Keep the legs together. The top leg can lift further, but we want them to move together. You might not lift far. A bit like when we're laying on our front and lifting. You might find you just feel the calf come off the ground. Think about squeezing the inner thigh, squeezing the outer thigh. Lift and control it down. Got your balance? Bring the arm. Breathe out as you lift. Feel fine. Lift and hold. Add that arm. Float it back. Control it down. Lift. Float. Feel fine. Lift. Float. Then that small lift of the head. If you start to feel tension in the neck, it's probably because you're lifting too high. You're just taking the weight off the lower arm. So almost feel the head still there. but you've taken the weight off. Then if you can, lift, float, head, lower arm. Reverse it all. So when you first started, you were probably thinking, that's difficult to lift my legs. If you start adding more in, actually you lift and hold them without thinking about it, as you then start to move everywhere else. If you want to just do legs, just do legs. It is perfectly fine. Pilates is not who can do the most. It's personal. It's finding what you can do, forgetting about anyone else, which means me at the moment, unless you've got someone in the house with you doing it, and finding your level. If you start to feel like you're rolling forwards or backwards, engage the core, maybe drop it down a level. One more if you can. And release. Bring those knees in, ease it out. We've worked hard. It was a warm one for me. I don't know about you. We're ready to have our relaxation. So please feel free to take a moment to put a bit of music on. Find your most comfortable position, whether you're laid down. If it is a bit cooler where you are, feel free to grab a blanket, get a cushion, pop it underneath your head, whatever you choose. Get yourself comfy. Don't have to lay on your back. Your choice. Get yourself comfortable. Relax. Just let the arms flop, let the legs flop. When we get going, I am going to sit myself up so I don't fall asleep. But I'm going to keep talking. So please just find where's comfortable for you. Allow your eyes to shut if you can. I say put some nice relaxing music on if you haven't already. And just allow that music to flow over you. Breathe. I want you to think about your breath again. Maybe bring your hands who are laid and place them just on the lower rib cage so the fingers are just touching. And take some nice deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the mouth. Be aware of how the fingers separate. How the rib cage not only lifts, but also opens out to the side, spreads. Let the arms relax wherever you want. Just let the breath start to calm. Start to feel the out breath. Focus on how the body relaxes. How it starts to sink towards the ground. Breathe. And start to feel a moment, a second, after you've breathed out, where there's nothing. There's a pause before you breathe back in again. Breathe out. Pause. And breathe back in. Within that pause, feel how the body's relaxed. Feel how it sinks to the ground. Feel there's no movement. It's just relaxation. Maybe be aware of your heart beating. It's just the blood flowing through the body. The muscles sink and relax. Allow the face to relax, shoulders to sink. Feel the arms flop, the hands relax. Feel the spine sink towards the ground. That natural curve at the lower back. The stomach relaxes. The hips drop to the ground. The legs sink, feel heavy. Feet flop. Just for a moment, all thoughts drift out of the mind. Allow the mind to be free. Gradually, allow the mind to come back to the breath, to feel the in-breath again. Breathing in through the nose, and filling the lungs again. Breathing out, getting rid of all the stress and tension from the body. Take 2 or 3 nice deep breaths. And slowly be aware of your hands. Maybe your fingers starting to move. A rotation at the wrist. Maybe start to feel the feet, the wriggle of the toes, maybe a circle of the ankle. If you're in a different position, please feel free to just bring yourself out to laying or sitting if you can, laying on your back if possible. And then gradually let your knees bend and the feet come flat to the ground. Let the arms open out, maybe into a T shape with the palms up, and relax. If you can, maybe go just slightly higher, more into a Y shape. Relax and feel a little bit of a stretch into the chest and shoulder. Leave the arms there. Try not to go too high as we now let the knees roll to one side. Keep the shoulders as flat to the ground as possible. The lower leg flops as close to the ground as you can, and then just let the top leg relax. Feeling a bit of a twist into the waist. Breathe. If you've got a stretch around the side and the back, stay as you are. If you feel you can go further, top leg, slide that foot along the lower leg. And you'll feel a bigger twist. The hand closest to the knee, place it on. Don't pull, just place. And let the weight of that arm gently bring the leg to the ground. If you're quite flexible, feel free to bring the foot to the floor in front of that lower leg. Make sure it can relax down. If you're hanging up in the air, bend it and place it and relax on top of the leg. If you are flexible enough with the foot on the floor, you can lengthen that leg out. Still relax to the ground. And if you want any more, walk the hand down and you just start to increase your stretch further. Relax the hips. Slowly ease. Bring it back to the middle. Reset yourself and allow the legs to go the other way. Lower leg flops. Relax the shoulders to the ground. Go as far as you need, maybe just the slide of the leg, maybe the hand, maybe the foot to the ground. Maybe you can lengthen with the foot still on the floor. Maybe walk the hand further. Aiming to feel the stretch, maybe into the outer thigh, maybe around into the glutes, maybe the lower back and down into the side of the body. Maybe you feel it more into the shoulder and the arm. As you relax, it may change. You may feel it in all the places. You might feel it in just one or two. Slowly bring it back to the middle. Reset. Bring the knees into the chest. Hold either the shin or the back of the thigh. And just loosen. A little twist. Ease into the back. If you can from there, let the knees open. You can hold either on the shin or the back of the thigh again. And just let the arms come to the ground. If you're like me and your arms kind of hit the ground quite easily, then take your feet, try to keep the knees bent and flex the foot. And then you take hold of the foot from the inner edge, so near the big toe. And then let the shoulders relax to the ground. Allow the knees to sink towards the floor at the side of the rib cage. You might find you want a nice little rock. It's sometimes called the happy baby stretch. If you can from there, you can either grab hold of your big toe, grab hold of your ankle, your calf, your thigh, and see if you can lengthen your legs. And just let it open. So you might be there, you may be there, you might even be there. Whatever's comfortable for you. And you might naturally find you rock. Nice stretch to the inner thigh and down the back of the legs. Ease. Bring it down, feet to the floor, and in your own time, bring yourself to sitting. We're doing an awful lot of work into our waist, so I'm going to try and stretch there for you. One leg in front as you did before. The other leg comes there. Now, if you can, Bring that one a little further out. So bring your heel towards your bum and see if you can hook that leg over. Don't worry if you can't hook it over. If you can get your heel closer to your bum and bring that one close to the knee, that's fine. If you can hook it over, hook it over. Opposite hand to the leg that's in front. And then push. So you're bringing your shoulder towards your knee and you turn the body. You can grab hold of the elbow. Twist. Shoulder and knee trying to come together. Relax the hips. If you're flexible enough, you can bring the arm there and push. Release. Swap sides. So that other leg in front, whether it's just relaxed in front and you come there to get your twist, whether you can bring the heel closer to your bum, whether you can cross it over. Hand, other hand goes behind, shoulder towards the knee. Hook with the arm. Lace it over if you can. Push the shoulder round. So it's the arm pushing against the leg, pulling against the leg that brings the shoulder round. Release. Legs come in front wherever they prefer to go. One hand to the ground. We're going to get that nice stretch. So it's like the mermaid we did. Reach up first. Keep reaching up and allow yourself to curve. Go as far as possible. Keeping your hips to the ground. Still reaching. And really feel that nice lengthen into the side of the body. Release. Other side. So don't worry if you can't get down to your elbow like I can. That might be giving you your stretch there. Maybe walk that hand out. Still reaching up. Maybe you can come that little bit lower like me. Notice I'm not there. I'm there. And that's when you really feel the stretch. If you are thinking, well, I've done that, lengthen your arm and reach. And you'll suddenly feel the difference. Also check you're not there. Lift the chest. Release. Slowly we're going to stand. So bring yourself around onto your knees if you can. Please feel free to use a seat if you prefer. Either step one foot forward or push back to your feet. And slowly lengthen yourself up. Curl through the spine if you can. I need to back away so you can see my head. Finishing off. I always like to finish with balance. This just switches your mind and body back on so you're not too relaxed. So if it is doing this in the morning, you can go and get on with your day and be a little bit more alert. Bring yourself into good neutral position. Engage through the core. I'm going to go for a leg forward, then back. So get the weight into one leg and tap the foot in front. Come through the middle with that tip from the hip, tap behind of leg. Forwards, through the middle and tap behind. Change. You might want the arms. Soft into that supporting knee. Can you lift that foot off the ground? Start to tip that little bit further. Feel the core switch back on. Use your breath. Our out breath helps us to relax and focus. Maybe add arms. So we can have that reach forwards again like we did at the beginning. Long spine. Feel free to start adding. So you lift the leg in front. As you take it behind, you can pause and soften the knee. Not only does it challenge your balance, you also start toning into the leg. It's a single leg squat. Once you've done that bend, you can see if you can tip further. Make sure it's not just the arms to the ground. See if you can also get the leg going up, so you dive. If you need to, break it down. I sometimes try and put it all together and flow, and I lose it. To get your knee bent, then tip. Come back upright. One last time. Bring yourself back up. Both feet to the ground and loosen it out. If you did cool off, hopefully that's just warmed you up a little bit again. Reset yourself. And a small twist. Ease into that waist. Bring the arms to your side. Breathe in. Reach. Breathe out. Hold if you can. Look up towards your hands. Engage at the core and see if you can push your hands back. A nice stretch into the front of the body. Release. Shoulder roll. Set. And we're finished. Give yourselves a little round of applause. Thank you very much. Hope you feel like you've done something. I'm starting to feel it there already. If you're not feeling it yet, hopefully you'll feel it in the next couple of days. I'll try and get another one on. I've had to hopefully get this less than an hour, because every time I've done this one the last couple of weeks, it's been longer than an hour. And I've ended up not being able to put it on. So hopefully this has worked. I've done it twice as well, which is why I keep looking in two different places, because I've got two places recording me. So see you again soon. Please message, please share, please like my Facebook page. See you again soon. Bye.